Dani Alves went from earning millions at the biggest clubs in the world to sitting behind bars, fighting for his freedom. Once the most decorated footballer in history, his golden retirement turned into a total disaster. Legal troubles, a shocking conviction, and financial ruin. Dani Alves has truly become notorious. So how did Alves go from world-class fullback to convicted criminal? Let's break down the rise, the fall, and the complete collapse of his legacy. He was the engine behind some of football's most dominant teams, winning 43 trophies, making him the most decorated player the sport had ever seen. His chemistry with Lionel Messi at Barcelona wasn't just effective, it was legendary. But becoming a world-class footballer requires relentless dedication, talent, and a little bit of luck. For Alves, his relentless running, aggressive pressing, and fearless attitude caught the attention of local scouts. By the age of 10, he was playing organized football, and by 15, he had moved to Bahia, a club that gave him his first real shot. At first, he struggled to stand out. Coaches doubted his ability to reach the top level, but Alves refused to let anyone dictate his future. At 18, he finally got his break. He made his professional debut for Bahia, and just weeks later, he announced himself to the world. Playing in the Copa do Nordeste final, Alves put on a masterclass, dominating the right flank, assisting a goal, and shutting down the opposition. It was the moment that changed everything. European scouts took notice, and soon an offer came from Sevilla. Dani Alves was leaving Brazil. He was no longer just a kid with a dream. He was a footballer with a destiny. Alves arrived in Spain as a hungry, unproven talent, but it didn't take long for him to make an impact. At Sevilla, he became one of the most electrifying right-backs in football, blending relentless energy with an attacking mindset rarely seen in defenders. His performances helped the club win back-to-back UEFA Cups, and soon the Giants came knocking. In 2008, Barcelona secured his signature, and Alves became an essential part of Pep Guardiola's revolution. Playing alongside legends like Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta, he helped Barcelona dominate world football, winning multiple La Liga and Champions League titles. His chemistry with Messi was telepathic, his work rate unmatched, and his confidence undeniable. But while his performances on the pitch were world-class, his personality was equally polarizing. Alves was always outspoken, sometimes playful, sometimes brash. He loved the spotlight and had no problem calling out critics. His larger-than-life attitude made him a fan favorite, but it also made him enemies. His flamboyance rubbed people the wrong way, and his tendency to mock rivals often sparked controversy. Yet, no one could deny his greatness. Even as he moved from Barcelona to Juventus, then to PSG, and eventually back to Brazil, he continued to win trophies. Wherever he went, success followed. But something changed. As his career wound down, so did his discipline. His name started appearing in the headlines for the wrong reasons. In 2022, at 39, he made an emotional return to Barcelona, hoping to retire at the club he loved. But his second stint was short-lived. Despite his massive wealth and earning over $100 million throughout his career, he ended up with virtually nothing. His extravagant lifestyle was a major factor. Lavish parties, luxury cars, high-end fashion, and expensive vacations drained his finances. On top of that, he faced multiple lawsuits demanding substantial sums for breach of contract from his last club, Pumas UNAM, along with poor and reckless financial investments. In an attempt to rebuild his fortune, he launched Voxtum, a social media platform aimed at streamlining event organization and management. Initially targeting the Brazilian market, the venture ultimately failed, largely due to Alves's tarnished public image. But I guess I should reveal something that matters more than just a failed business.
The breaking news involves the former Barcelona right-back Dani Alves, who we're just learning now has been sentenced to 4.5 years in jail after being found guilty of sexual assault. Catalonia's top court has found him guilty of sexually assaulting a woman in a Barcelona nightclub back in December 2022. He's also got to pay 150,000 euros to the victim. Alves is now 40 years old. He was arrested in January 2023 on suspicion of this offence.
The football world was stunned. A 23-year-old woman accused Dani Alves of sexual assault at the Sutton nightclub in Barcelona, and within weeks, Alves was arrested. At first, he denied everything. Then, as the investigation unfolded, his story kept changing. The evidence mounted against him, and the Barcelona court rejected his requests for provisional release twice, deeming him a flight risk. The court gathered evidence and testimonies, with one key step being a psychological evaluation of the victim. The findings confirmed she suffered psychological damage, strengthening the case against Alves. By the time the trial concluded, the judge ruled there was sufficient evidence to prosecute him. The verdict was damning, guilty of sexual assault. Alves was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release. On top of that, he was ordered to pay 150,000 euros in damages to the victim. This was the final nail in the coffin of his once illustrious career. The man who had lifted 43 trophies, played for the biggest clubs in the world, and earned over $100 million throughout his career, was now a convicted criminal with a negative bank balance. His extravagant lifestyle, legal fees, and lack of financial planning had left him with virtually nothing.